Democratic senator makes racist statement about minority staff, doesn't end well. Senator Joe Donnelly Doesn played the race card during a debate with his GOP rival. While trying to score some points with the crowd, he mentioned a few racial minorities that worked for him. But, what he said betrayed his own bias, perhaps even racism. Now, his little attempt at identity politics is backfiring. Democrats are con artists. I have no problem saying that. Simply listening to their manipulative speeches and statements is enough to conclude that. For years, they've refused to do anything to help Americans. That's especially true of minorities, the working class, and the poor. Yet each election, Democrats make big promises and claims that they are the only ones that can save these people. But liberals have run cities, states, and the federal government for years. And the poor in our society still suffer. In fact, homelessness is rampant in liberal states, with California being one of the worst. Democrats keep saying that minorities are better off voting for them. They play identity politics to get African Americans and other groups to support them. But the statistics don't lie. Black Americans in liberal-run cities suffer from extreme poverty, poor education, a lack of jobs, and crime. This is no coincidence. All the evidence suggests that Democrats aren't so progressive as they claim. They seem to promise the world to minorities, only to let them down time and again. Perhaps that's by design? Maybe Democrats don't really care about minorities, only their votes. Maybe more than a few liberals think very poorly of minorities in this country. That might be the case for Senator Joe Donnelly. In a recent debate with rival Republican Mike Braun, he tried to tap into identity politics. But instead, he made a gaffe that suggests he doesn't respect the very people he's trying to win over. Democratic Indiana Senator Joe Donnelly made potentially offensive racial remarks during a Senate debate on Tuesday night as he highlighted different minorities that he employs. "Our state director is Indian American, but he does an amazing job," Donnelly said. "Our director of all constituent services, she's African American, but she does an even more incredible job than you could ever imagine." Wow. I guess Donnelly isn't as practiced with his left-wing rhetoric as some other Democrats. The use of "but" in his statement suggests these people are somehow doing a good job in spite of their race. He lavishes praise on his staff after he makes the subtle suggestion that people of color should not be doing so well? If not, why all the buts? Could it have been a simple gaffe? Perhaps. But Lisa Booth of Fox News raised a very good point. Heavy check mark Dave Catanese. Some odd phrasing from Donnelly attempting to highlight the diversity of his staff. "Our state director is Indian American, but he does an amazing job, INSEN. Heavy check mark Lisa Marie Booth. Can we just be honest and say that if Mike Braun had said this it would be an issue, but it won't because Donnelly is a Dem?" A few months ago, the left tried to destroy Florida governor candidate Ron DeSantis over a monkey comment. The Republican was clearly saying monkey wrench. But that didn't stop the fake news media from suggesting he was using a racial slur against his far-left opponent. Now, we have a Democrat talking down to an Indian American and an African American. How many news outlets will cover this? How many headlines will CNN or the New York Times spin over this statement that was said during a live debate? Will they send reporters down to grill him over the comment? Will they conjecture as they did with DeSantis that the Democrat is a racist? Probably not. Because the liberal media is hoping Donnelly will win. And they don't want to hurt his chances by questioning him over this statement. So, they'll simply ignore it. But I think it's worth discussing, don't you? The liberal media will give corrupt, lying Democrats a pass at every opportunity. They are hoping desperately that enough voters will put them into power. It doesn't matter how poorly Democrats have led this country over the last few years. All they want is power, no matter what. Will you let them? Share this story so more people can see what Democrats are really like.